onefootflipper.
Hi, Paige here, the 1 Foot Flipper. It is Sunday. I actually managed to get out of the house yesterday and do a little bit of sourcing. I'm still sick, but I feel like I'm finally coming through it. We'll look at what I got a little bit later, but first, let's talk about some comments I've had. I've had a lot of people who ask where I get my stuff, which I think I've mentioned. I go to a lot of garage sales. And I specifically look to purchase collections. And I also go to the Goodwill bin sometimes. And I guess I finally got enough views and enough viewers that I finally started getting negative comments. When I started out, everybody told me that people make negative comments all over the place, and I didn't get any negative comments for the longest time, but they finally started rolling in. I don't sell $10,000 a month. Many people have said that. I'll just put a little photo of eBay stats up there, right there. Several people have accused me of faking being disabled, which is kind of interesting. I don't know how you can fake missing a leg just because my stump's not visible in most of the videos doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Oh, look, there it is. So now that we've addressed that, what else? Oh, one more interesting one is somebody said he's not selling from a wheelchair, he's selling on a computer. Now, I'm not sure if the person thought I had invented a wheelchair interface for eBay and was claiming to be selling using that, but no, yes, I do use a computer for my eBay listings. The wheelchair does not actually list them for me. All right, now let's take a look at some of the items here in a minute that I got from this pick yesterday. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to film it. There's some situations I won't film in. I don't film at estate sales. I don't film if anyone died. And I don't film if I feel like the video would show the people I'm purchasing the items from in any sort of negative light or have them made fun of in any way. I won't film in any of those circumstances. And I'm not going to mention which circumstance this one, and some people don't want to be filmed. And this, let's just say this was one of those circumstances, but I still got some good stuff. I came out $37 lighter, and now we'll take a look at what I got. I did a little bit of picking yesterday. I wasn't able to get any video from the actual pick. It was a situation where it wouldn't have been appropriate. I wasn't able to film, but let's take a look at some of the stuff that I got. Some of this stuff was guesses. I haven't looked it all up yet, but let's take a look. Fender guitar t-shirt, 2XL. Got a couple of Atari power bricks. Look at that. That is not... I thought that was some sort of bootleg Miss Piggy bank, except Miss Piggy came out in 1976, and this thing has 1974 stamped underneath it. Where is it? 1974. If anybody knows anything about this pre-Miss Piggy here, I'd love to know it. Quick eBay search on that, didn't find anything. I got a bunch of remotes. Audiobook, I always pick those up when they're near free. That DVD looked just interesting enough where it might be a thing. Big box PC game that nobody will probably want. A weird foil embossed picture. New and packaged Targus presenter. A few cameras, a few hotel ashtrays. A watch, and one of the good ones, we've got a Tomy robot here from 1984. He's got a built-in tape deck, arms, he moves around. I don't have the remote to him, but the person I got it from says they think they have it and they're gonna look for it, so hopefully I can add the remote to that. Eventually I'll power him up and see what he does, if anything. These are often apparently broken these days. Academy Award booklets, didn't know if they were anything, but they didn't really cost anything, so I didn't leave them behind. And then we got a Commodore 1702 video monitor. And this monitor, upon first check, appears to work. It powers up. You hear the DGOS go, the screen comes up white. And this alone is several $100s, but I'm gonna up my game on this because I'm gonna recap it. That means all these old CRT monitors have capacitors inside them that dry out and go bad from age. Most video game collectors don't make those repairs or know how to do them. But my video game collecting background comes from arcade games. And that's the sort of thing that you have to do with arcade games because the replacement parts aren't so readily available. You can't just go find another TV. You can't just go find another monitor. You can't just go find another circuit board easily, so you actually have to repair them. So I'm going to replace the capacitors in this and probably ask $400 on it. Okay, let's go back to the rest of the video. Okay, let's take a closer look at a few of the biggest items from my haul yesterday. Okay, first we got that Commodore monitor. It is indeed working. I hooked the GameCube up to it just through the front inputs. This is not hooked up RGB like whoever buys it is eventually going to mod the console to do. The focus is off a tiny bit, but on these monitors, to adjust the focus, you got to crack the back open and adjust it on the flyback. And I'll do that because I'm going to rebuild this monitor completely before I sell it so I can get top dollar for it. So I'll have the focus looking perfect on it before it sells. What else I wanted to look at is I've got this chandelier light fixture here, and I don't know anything about stuff like this. It looks like it's cast aluminum. It's got multiple fixtures. Obviously, I'm not going to be plugging this thing in. Whoever buys this thing is probably going to rewire it and replace the fixtures in it, but I know nothing about this. I don't know how to price it. I don't know how to price it. I don't know what to call it. It's outside of my usual area. Then remember this guy? Sears catalog, 1984. Everybody wanted him, and somebody, not me, got one. He's got a tape deck built in. You can program him to move around. He's a Tomy brand. Some of his wheels aren't in the best shape. The treads have come off some of them, while other ones are disintegrated. I have not opened up his battery back to see what kind of disintegrated batteries are in there, but these guys can go from about $100 to several hundred depending on function and condition. And oddly enough, this one is cheaper than the cooler. There's a second one that doesn't look as cool, but this one's cheaper for some reason. I guess it's a rarity thing. All right, let's take a look at Miss Piggy. Except this isn't Miss Piggy, because Miss Piggy debuted in 1976, and this has 1974 carved right into the side of it. Or does that say 1979? Actually, I'm not sure at this point. It's either a bad likeness of Miss Piggy or a coincidence. Either way, I couldn't find another one on eBay at all. So, if you know anything about this gal here, let me know. I think for now, I'll probably list her up high and let her sit back there with Tom Griswold, who's missing his old lady friend. See, he's still got the arm out there to put around her, so she can sit with him until he sells. All right, now let's go look at some sales. Okay, let's look at some sales. Sold a craft gourd for $10.99. I was almost out of these, but I texted my source for these, and she brought me a fresh bag, so there should be a bunch of them for people to go through again. The records keep selling, and I keep dropping stuff. But I'm just going to keep talking as I pick this up instead of pausing the camera and doing a jump cut. Oh my goodness, stuff is falling all over the place. You see, last night, Julie, Lily, and Parker the dog came down here, and they got back here at the bar area, and they decided to do a little unscheduled gaming. I'll put some photos of it up here, and they didn't put everything away correctly, so I'm tripping over stuff back here when I normally have it, so I can hop around back here with no problems. Super Tramp, even in the quietest moments, $8 plus shipping. All of this is plus shipping. I don't do free shipping. Other people can do free shipping. Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here, $24.99. Of course, this is hidden in a book. Woodland Scenics model decal sheets, $5.99. That's just going to ship in an envelope. Topps Gruesome Greeting Cards, 3-pack sealed, $2.49. These ship standard envelope because they're trading cards. But I have a bunch of these, but I keep my stock level of it at 2 because I can only get 2 of these in the standard envelope before breaking the rules. So I don't want somebody buying 10 at once. So every time somebody buys 1 or 2, I either relist it or put the stock level back up to 2. Sometimes people are so busy trying to make a deal that they miss the deal. Black Sabbath Paranoid. This is a low-grade record, but it does play through. Probably low-grade because it never had the inner sleeve's been gone for I don't know how many years. That sold for $10, but while during the time it was selling, somebody else was really trying to get it for $7 or $8, going back and forth with me, and somebody else bought it full price while he was spending his time trying to get it cheaper. Next one is a viewer sale. Nate, or I'll put his store up here. I believe it's Nate's Magic Cards. He bought the 1-foot flipper signed foil magic card. I've actually had this listing long before as a YouTuber. It used to just say one-legged magic card signed by a one-legged man, because I put that up during my very early period where I was just trying to come up with anything to sell, and randomly a few of them have sold here and there, but normally I put that as my listing. When somebody wanted to see how I ship trading cards, I told them to just buy that. So Nate's gonna get this card. It's a double-sided card, foil on both sides, signed with my real name on one side and 1-foot flipper on the other side. $2. I got 2 packs of Flames of War command cards. These sold for $11 plus shipping. Got a Wargaming rulebook, Red Banner Soviet Forces, $15.29. I'll put it up here. I'll just put it up here on the screen. I didn't bring it down with me. Monsieur Joven Mini Splash Bottle Rare Vintage Splash, 1977, sold for $51.02. And this came out of what I've mentioned before, a box of old perfume that I purchased for $1. That box has given me hundreds of dollars. It's probably going to continue to give me hundreds of dollars. And that's a full bottle, so I don't even have to worry about any of that partial cosmetics issues that you can otherwise have. Alabama Mountain Music, $5. Star Wars, Chewbacca, and General Hux, $9.49. I had a whole bunch of General Huxes, but nobody wants General Hux. So I lotted General Hux up. Oh, that was Chewbacca. There's General Hux. Nobody wanted him. So I lotted a General Hux up, for the most part, with almost every good figure I had, and put it at $1 higher than what the good figure sells for, because nobody was buying Hux, and they're selling fine that way. Marshall Tucker Band Greatest Hits, $8. The records are real. This was what I was worried about and why I'm not going to list all 700 of those records at once. I do not want to morph into a record seller. I don't want that to be my specialty. The Cars, self-titled, $13. It's one of the ones I have the videos on. Cosmos Factory, Creedence Clearwater Revival, $6.64 plus whatever incredible amount they paid for international shipping. Led Zeppelin 4, $12. I can't keep Led Zeppelin or Pink Floyd in the store, really. Usually they sell within a day or two of going up, sometimes hours. A miniatures decal sheet, $9.99. Since this is in a blister pack, it can't go in an envelope. It actually has to ship as a package. Iron Maiden, not the album, but the rulebook, $9.71. More Star Wars figures. Rose and Page from, I think, The Force Awakens, or maybe the one after that. And note, my name is Page too, so I'm expecting soon, every time a female character is named Paige in a popular movie, I start meeting a whole little batch of little girls named Paige about 6-7 years later. When I was young, nobody was named Paige. It was theoretically a gender-neutral name, but it was super rare. And now it's everybody named Paige is a girl. If you know any, just tell me about them if you know any, but I don't know any anymore. Everyone that I know has died. I know of two. One was a relative and one was a very elderly man in another state. But Rose and Page sold together for $10. I lotted them up because I believe they were supposed to be sisters, or they were in the same scene. I don't remember exactly. Humble Pie, Rock On, $6.99. I guess that's going to bring us to the end of the sales. I've had a challenge by one of my viewers to rig up UO here to start dancing whenever I mention him. Now I'm going to have to wire a remote button to do that, but luckily I know how to do that kind of thing. Same viewer also challenged me to try to Goodwill Bins my way to up in the speaker game on my record player over there, which, let's cut away and look at that for a minute. So I picked up my first 78 records yesterday. It was basically, I don't really have any money into them, otherwise I would have passed them by, but let's take a look at something and see if this is normal. Okay, got the record on the player here, and look at that thing. It looks like it's dancing the hula, doesn't it? But it...
Baby, it's cold outside. This evening has been hoping that you'd drop
but it's playing just fine.
They're just like ice. Will start to
Is this a ruined record? Is this still sellable? I don't know. Look again. See how much that's going up and down, up and down. So, you tell me. Never had those before. Okay, now we're back from that. Oh, I'm going to have to edit that right in the middle. I've never done that before. That'll be new. So, hope that editing worked out right. If it doesn't, you can make fun of me in the comments. So I'm going to add some speakers to that record player as well. And I think that is all that I have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you again soon.